Hi, my name is Bob Flisser, and I want to show you how you can solve two common problems you might run into with layers in Adobe Illustrator. And those problems are when Illustrator destroys your layers. Now, what I have open here on my screen is Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud 2014 for Windows, but these tips that I'm going to show you will work for Windows and Mac and in any recent version of Adobe Illustrator. The first problem I'll show you is how you can fix it when copying and pasting will destroy layers. And the second problem I'll show you how to fix is what to do when grouping objects destroys your layers. So here on my screen, I have a business map. And you can see here I have streets and street names and little symbols. And these symbols correspond to whether we're looking at retail businesses, restaurants, and so on. And this is my town, Flemington, New Jersey. Let's take a look at the layers panel. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to open up the layers panel, and I'm just going to drag this onto the screen so it doesn't snap off. I'll stretch it out. And you see everything here is nicely done on layers. So we have, for example, all the text is on a layer. I can turn the eyeball off to hide the text. In fact, maybe I'll leave it off and I'll lock it. And let's move this over here. And let's say, for example, all the restaurants are the blue hexagons. So if I want to hide all of those restaurants, I can click the eyeball to turn those off. The same thing for anything else. Let's say retail businesses are the red dots. I can turn that eyeball off and turn that eyeball back on. So this is great. And let me just unlock the text. So what I'm going to do here is, let me put the text back on. So now we can see everything. And you notice that everything is unlocked. I'm just going to double click this and hide it temporarily to get it out of the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything here on the map and I'm going to paste it into a brand new document, which I've already created. So easiest way to select all, I'll just press Control A in Windows or Command A on the Mac, copy to the clipboard, Control C or Command C on the Mac, and I'll just go over here. Now this is a tabloid sized document, so I already have prepared here a blank tabloid sized document, and I want to paste in the same position, everything in the same X and Y location. So I'll press Control Shift V or Command Shift V on the Mac, and everything pastes in. I'll just click here to deselect. Now it looks great until I take a look at the layers. Let's just double click here on layers and look at that. Hide this. I have just layer one. So here on the original document, everything here, as you saw, is broken up nicely into layers. And over here, everything got combined into this one layer. So everything's there, but let's say I want to hide all of the restaurants, all the miscellaneous businesses or salons. I can't do that. I can hide maybe one dot at a time, wherever the heck that one is, or I could hide, one item here at a time, but that doesn't really do me any good. Fortunately, there's a quick fix. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to delete everything. So I'll just select all, Control A or Command A on the Mac, and delete. And before I paste, I'm going to go up here. You see we've got this little kind of down arrow here on the context menu, they call it, on the layers panel. I'll click that. And you see down here towards the bottom, it says Paste Remembers Layers. So I'm going to click that. That's a toggle. You can turn that on and off. So if I click that again, you see there's now a check mark. Let's just go hide this again. And now I'll paste just like I did before. Control Shift V or Command Shift V on the Mac. Now I have all of my layers just like I wanted, so I could hide, let's say, all the restaurants or hide all the salons or hide just the text. So that's a really great feature. So the next problem I'll show you how to fix is what to do when Illustrator destroys your layers when you group objects. First thing I'll do is I'm just going to hide all of the text for now, get it out of the way, and I'm also going to lock it. And I'll do the same for the header. I don't have to hide the header, I'm just going to lock it. So I have everything here on its own layer, as you saw. So let's say, for example, street names. I could hide the street names or just the streets themselves. There, this layer one was original. I can just get rid of that. And why might I want to group all this? Well, maybe I need more room for text. So I want to take this entire map and all of the symbols or shrink it, or maybe I'm going to put it on a larger sheet of paper and I want to stretch it out. So yes, I can press Control A or Command A on the Mac to select all and resize it. I'm just going to hold the Shift key down and drag it in. Always let go of the mouse first before letting go of the key. And Now I resize it, and that's great. I'll undo, I'll press Control Z or Command Z on the Mac. The problem is every time I want to grab all of this, I have to make sure that the layers that I don't want resized, I have to lock them. I have to remember to Control A or Command A and select them all. It gets a real pain. So you might think, okay, no problem, I'll just group them. So again, I'll select all and I'll group. Now you could press Control G or Command G on the Mac, or go up to the object menu and group whichever you like. And I'll deselect. And so far it looks okay. The only problem is, look what's happening here in the layers. All of these other layers are blank. Why? Because everything here is now on the same layer. And that's because in Illustrator, when you group objects that are on multiple layers, Illustrator puts them all onto the same layer. So like retail businesses, that's blank, or salons, that's all blank. So we have to figure out another way to fix this. I'm going to undo a few times until all of the layers are properly restored. There we go. So what I'm going to do here, instead of grouping, is I'm going to save the selection. So one last time I have to do this is select all. And now I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the select menu. And down here towards the bottom of the select menu, I'll choose Save Selection. And it asks me for a name, and I'll call this Map, or something meaningful, Map, no text, something like that. Click OK. And I could deselect, and now I could even unlock the header and the text. I could make the text visible just like it was before. But now, here, let's get this out of the way. Now, what happens if I want to select this whole map area and resize it? What I do is I go up to the select menu, and down over here I have that map, no text. So when I select that, when I click that, now everything here gets selected, and you notice that the layers are not changed. So now again, I can resize it. I'll hold the Shift key down and shrink it. And now I could drag it around. And it's kind of like grouped. It's almost as good. It's like 95% as good as grouped, and I don't ruin the layers. I still have my objects on individual layers. I can still select them, and I can still manage them in the Layers panel. And you can save as many selections as you want. All the selections that you save will belong to the document itself, and when you go up to the Select menu, they'll be down there. If you want to edit them at all, you just go here and choose Edit Selection, and now you could delete it, you could rename it, anything, and just OK it or cancel out. So I hope you found these tips helpful, and if you did, please check out my Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud Essentials course at totaltraining.com, and also my Adobe Illustrator CS6 Advanced video course also on totaltraining.com. So once again, my name is Bob Flisser, and thanks so much for watching.